So, as I'm recording this continuation, um, the day that I'm recording this from is actually my cousin's birthday, not the day that it's being published. And I got some notes. I got some notes. They're ready. They're ready. I know it's tradition in the Lighthouse Diary for me to be unscripted, all of that. But yeah, I'm just gonna have a bit of a guideline this time around. Um, yeah, I just got an email, and I think it honestly just confirms um, a new beginning, um, a new um, era in my life. And I think what's going on is that, even though this was basically something that, I've been kind of meditating on and reflecting on it, and, you know, I think it's just confirming to me that how do I say this? The old ways um, have to stop. Um, yeah, I don't know how else to say it, and that I'm basically receiving this as a confirmation that I'm being freed from a situation, is what I'm trying to say. And therefore, with that being said, I have to be super conscious of freeing myself from habits that my mind and my body, and I guess you could say my spirit as well, kind of just associate with these old situations. And yes, courage is definitely going to be required from me. But I also feel at the same time, I'm getting this confirmation that I still need to have that inner peace um, happening at the same time with that courage, those two together. I guess you could say kind of marry the two together. So that's a little introduction there into these notes. But yeah, the first note that I wrote down, I wanted to talk about how yesterday was the first actual beautiful day, um, mental health wise, for me in a really long time. And I just find it so interesting the timing, how it happened right before this, you know, conversation that I just shared with you. Um, but yeah, obviously, I didn't want to get too specific just in case there's something uh, in that description that might stand out for you or someone that you might know. So that's why I kept it vague, but just the gist of the heart of the matter. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, my mental health was amazing yesterday. I literally woke up feeling feeling a weight taken off of my shoulders. I started to have this like I don't know how to describe it, but it was in the morning. I was just acknowledging to myself as I was getting ready, like, I don't know how to describe this, but I feel good today. I feel good. Like, it's not like I forgot, the things that necessarily discouraged me or, things of that nature, but there was just something about how I woke up that morning where I just felt amazing. And I thought to myself, like, I don't know where all this positive energy came from. Well, actually, I do know where it came from. Um, and then I thought to myself, okay, I was I was just full on resting um the day before yesterday. So I'm thinking that might have been um a factor as to why I woke up yesterday morning feeling fantastic. I don't know. I don't know. 'Cause yeah, I was just binging season 2 of the OA with my mom before yesterday morning, and I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, that day when I was binging, I was feeling guilty, like, oh, there's so many things that I want to do. But ironically enough, it was in the morning where I finally got that genuine enthusiasm to do those things, and oh my gosh, I just missed that. I missed that. I was missing that feeling for so long, and where I was just excited to be out in the world, not just forcing myself to be in the world. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So yesterday I had two dance classes as instead of the typical just one dance class for a day. Um, yeah, it used to be my thing where I would aim to go on a weekly basis because I was just yeah, at the time I felt like I belonged to the studio during that time. Um, yeah, and then I guess staffing changed and the clientele changed quite a lot. So even though I knew in my heart I was missing the that initial feeling as to why I would keep going back to that studio, I still felt this warm feeling within myself, just continuing from the morning. Um, this is gonna be kind of gross, but I am still healing my itchy skin, and this is nasty, okay? But usually in the morning, underneath my fingernails, I would see dead skin, but that morning I did not see dead skin under my nails, and I'm just like, I don't know, I was so happy. I was just so happy not to see dead skin under my fingernails too. And oh my gosh. And honestly, for a good minute now, when I would go into dance class, I would say for the past um how many months or so, I would kind of dread it, for the reason that, the community, it wasn't how I initially experienced, right? So I'd feel, kind of you know, felt isolated amongst a crowd of people, even if I was actively trying to make friends. That okay, well, it seems like people come in groups and they just want to stick with their own friend groups, or people when they've come here, they kind of just found their clique and they don't really see the need to talk to somebody who isn't like their clique. So it's just like, oh, okay, I can live with it. But yeah, and I was just thinking to myself, okay, you know what? I Kaylee, I know you kind of had this pressure to go into a class and go hard or go home kind of thing. You kind of taught yourself to be like that for a minute, but I don't know. I didn't even have to do a pep talk for myself at all. I didn't even have to tell myself to have fun. I was just already in the mood to have fun. And it turned out that, those classes, that I signed up for that I was kind of nervous about. Well, actually, not necessarily nervous. I was just more like, yeah, I was more excited than nervous. Um, yeah, even though there's songs I don't really seek out, I just think that the choreography that was, put to those songs, it was just super appropriate for the mood of those songs, and I just felt like, yeah, I just felt like I could flow with it in a way because, even though there were certain parts that I was comfortable doing, there were certain parts that I was unfamiliar with because I actually signed up for one of my not usual dance styles for that day. I was just like, you know what? I'm glad that I did this for my brain to like keep my brain fresh and um, eager to learn and that kind of thing. And yeah, I would have moments where I would struggle to breathe in such a way to keep myself calm. I was able to naturally, yeah, I think my body was naturally able to calm itself and just be there and not, yeah, not have my mind scattered somewhere else or my mind with somebody else. I was just there and I was feeling the music. Um, yeah, I wouldn't say it was exactly the same way um, that I had that initial relationship like with the studio. It just felt like I can't really come up with another word for it, but it was a renewed feeling for me. It was, yeah, it was just like it was its own mood, you know? I was feeling I was feeling physically stimulated and mentally stretched, and yet I wasn't afraid. I can't quite put my words to it. Yeah, I felt like I was given like a renewed brain or something. And like, oh my God, I can't quite. It's hard for me to describe, but I was just so happy. I was just so happy. And then, oh yeah, which brings me to the next note that I made. But the thing that day, yesterday, had in common with my younger self, sorry, this house is kind of old, so I would hear things. But yeah, the thing that I did have in common was I noticed how um, kind of sweating in a non-fearful, in a non-anxious way. I'm just I'm just flowing with the music in that present moment. It's obviously going to be um it's going to feel natural to me as a workout, obviously, but